Welcome back to another cooking adventure. Today we're going to make strudel, cherry strudel. And the important thing about making strudel is the phyllo dough. Now the phyllo dough is our very thin sheets of pastry dough. You can get them in Mediterranean delis. Sometimes they're often sold in the freezer compartment of the grocery stores. This particular phyllo pastry dough I bought at a Mediterranean deli. It's usually frozen, and you have to defrost it according to the manufacturer's directions. Okay. The next thing about phyllo dough is you have to keep it moist. So I have opened the phyllo dough and placed it between two dish towels that spritzed with a sprayer. I don't spritz the phyllo dough, but I spritz the dishcloths. The next thing you need are two old dishcloths, and I reserve these two old dishcloths just for making strudel, because I love strudel. I make a lot of it. So I have overlapped them like so. Make sure they cover the whole area. The next thing you do is get all of your ingredients. I have my melted butter. I've got my spritzer, which I'll use, my water. I have my breadcrumbs. I have some delicious cherries that have been pitted and sliced. I have some craisins, which are cranberries, chopped walnuts, a little bit of almond paste. Now this recipe makes two strudels, so I've actually got the ingredients separated for two strudels. I also have some cinnamon sugar mix that I've already mixed up. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is open the phyllo dough and select one sheet. Look how thin they are. You can almost see through them. I'm going to put one way over here like that. I'm going to get another one way over here like that. Notice I'm overlapping the sheets. I'm going to cover the phyllo sheets. I'm going to lightly butter the overlap. Ooh, careful, careful. Lightly butter the overlap. Then butter the whole area, paying particular attention to the edges. And you're going to get your old dish towels a little greasy. Don't worry, you can put them in the washer. I like unsalted butter for just about everything. Okay, then we're going to spritz it just a little bit. And add just a little bit of breadcrumbs. It acts as little rollers to keep the pastry dough separated from each other. Okay, that's the first layer. Okay, now let's put a second layer. Good pastry phyllo sheets should not stick. Notice how these come right off. Okay, I'm going to layer it right off. Put a little bit of butter on the overlap. And lay it right on top. Perfect. Cover up that phyllo dough. Again, we want to butter the the edges carefully. Okay, this is the third. The last layer, and I forgot to cover, didn't I? The last layer is only going to be one, and this one sheet is going to be the closest to me. Let's butter the edge of this last sheet. So we've actually used 2, 4, 6, 7 sheets. A little bit of spritz, a little bit of breadcrumbs. You want to put the cherries all over the part of the pastry closest to you and about halfway up the other side. See, I've left some area there. Eat the rest. You want to leave about 1 inch on each side and the end, because you'll see why in a few minutes. This is about a good cup of cherries. A good cup. The next thing I'm going to do is sprinkle some craisins, which you can get probably near the raisin department in your grocery store. These are kind of tangy, and they're pretty. They're red. They match. If you use apples, you can use raisins. A few nuts. These are chopped walnuts. I like to chop my walnuts by hand. This is almond paste. Comes in a tube, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on. Comes in a tube. I sliced it and then chopped it just a little bit. This will add a nice almond flavor, which goes well with cherry. With just a little bit of sugar cinnamon mix. I'm going to serve this with some caramel ice cream, gelato actually, which I made. Is fold over about 1/2 inch all around, like so. Next trick, we're going to roll this up jelly roll fashion using a tea towel, a dish towel, to help us roll up snugly, not too tight, but just snugly. Roll it up, keeping those edges. Yep, the edges are good. Okay, there's our strudel, and I'm going to place this, seam slide down. Oh, cherry came out. Have to eat that one. Next, we take our beaten egg, and we're going to baste. This will give it a nice glossy sheen when it comes out. Move it this way. Notice I have parchment paper. The parchment paper will keep your pan from getting all sticky. Keep it clean. There we go. There's the first one.